Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night to wherever you are in the world. This is Kidnapper speaking, which is KIDDNAPPA. And as usual, many of you are used to hearing us rather than seeing us. So we've made Tables Chronicles a very visual thing for every one of you that's paying attention to what we have. We already have clips anyway that's available online. You can see our faces. But this time, I'm pretty sure the cameras have got my mouth as it says what it's saying. Anyway, so to my other side is Coaching with Leticia, who has joined the team called Tables Chronicles, and she will introduce herself. And for those people who have a business and are looking for somebody who can coach them in regards to how their business works and stuff, she's the right person for it.
So I'm Coaching with Leticia. Innovate your business, elevate your life. I'm all about empowerment and enhancement for your business.
That's it. And on the other side is Reality Complex,
aka Real Complex.
Yes.
Aka Reality. Get your life in check.
That's it. Hey, I can see the man's like, you're under pressure today, or is it? You're under pressure. Or you need one little boom boom wake you up kind of thing.
Right.
I see it.
That means your future's bright. Hey.
You know how it goes. Do you know what? To be honest with you, I've been losing weight and it's annoying me because all my trousers seem to be just dropping and I have to put my belt on this way and the other way. But anyway.
So you got down a few notches on your belt.
And it's one of those things whereby I'm like,
You look a little bit slimmer.
You do?
Yeah.
And I did. Clothes are sagging a bit more.
There we go.
A bit more room in there.
I'm back in check. And as per usual, let's not forget this because the Nara shop, the NARA shop.co.uk, who they basically those people who are looking at how to clean their systems and all that stuff, just holler at the Nara shop and let them know, buy the
tablets. If you did that,
I did do that. So that's why I even just said let me even
the results are coming through.
Bruh, you know what? It was, it's the third time I think I've done it.
Wow.
And to be honest with you, I didn't take note of myself really per se. But the third time I did it, that was a whole different one because he always says that you should do every 3 months or 4 months. But I hadn't done it for I don't know how many months. Yeah. However, I did it. And guess what? Not only was I throwing up, I was on the toilet and I'm on the sink. I was like, hey, my mouth is up. And it's like,
wow.
Everything was, but I cleaned out. And you know what it is? Yeah. As soon as you do it, you weird enough, because even I sent him a message, because he's not in the country at the moment, but I sent him a message and I was like, yo, I took it, and I was like, yo, is it normal for it to make you do both of them at the same time? And he goes, yeah, it means you needed a cleanse at that time.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, the first time I did it, I didn't have to do it because I always go with my first experience. My first experience was just crazy. I remember I told you about this first time I did it, because the first time I did it, I just threw up, and then after that, it was just me in the toilet and the shower.
Okay, so does it have an effect in terms of what food you're eating? Does that take into
most definitely?
So is that why you would need more? No, like this one you said was different. You did both at the same time. You said both
I think
your system might need both because of what you're eating. So is it because of your diet and things as to why this time was different?
You know what? I wouldn't say that per se. However, I will say he has told me that sometimes, your body, after you do something once with your body, it tends to pick up on other things. And I'll be honest with you, before I did this time, because even what made me do it this time was funny, because I just woke up and it was like 7 o'clock I woke up. By 8 o'clock, I was already, let me just do it, man. And this time it was more capsules that I took, because normally it was 4. But this time he I bought the 7, and he said to me, no, do with the 7 and then it will clear you out.
Well, you took 7 capsules?
It was the 7 capsules. Just drink 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So you don't space it out?
No, you just take them all in one go and then you chill out.
Why do you need
that sounds a bit aggressive.
Why do you need to take so many?
Yeah.
But this is the thing. Before it was 4 capsules, right?
Why is it 4 before and 7 now?
This is because he's even right now as we're speaking, he's in Ghana right now, and what is he doing? He's actually doing his homework in terms of the Nara stuff, and he was like, yeah, there's some things I need to look at. But what he did a study, or whatever you want to call it. What do you call those studies?
A qualification?
No. One of these
like research, like
like the research, and he does everything and he checks and he goes, you know what? With the 7 capsules, it has a faster effect on every single person. So I was like, okay, but remember I've done that.
So is it
I've
like
done
a dosage thing? Then?
It's no. You just get the 4 initially was before.
Yeah.
Was the 4, and when I did it the first time, I remember I threw up and I was like, damn. And then the next thing I was on the toilet, And I think I went to the toilet like 5 times that day. So between 8 o'clock and like 6 o'clock-ish is when my system literally was now ready to say, you know what, now you're clear, like eat something. But when you're thinking about what am I gonna eat, I'm thinking I can't eat that, I can't eat this, I can't eat this. If I eat this, surely, and then I'm not going through this again. That's literally your body. I guess your body kind of, it turns into itself in its own self-warming type of thing, if that's the best way to describe it. Like your body has already given you that warning before, like, yo, eat that and this is what's gonna happen again. Because even when I did it this time, and I did it with 7 of them, I took all 7 of them and I was sitting there.
Wow.
And it was just popping. I was like, I've done this before. Remember the second time I did it, I was just sitting on the toilet. Boom, 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 boom.
And did you do this, you said recently? How recently?
Yeah. I did it recently, like what? Not this weekend, the weekend before. So just about 10 days or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You ever done the cleanup?
I have, and it's a nice feeling. And also, I drink a lot of green tea as well. I think that's I'm a tea girl.
You reckon?
So I prefer green tea. Then
Maybe you need to get on the Naira.
I'll try the Naira, but I'm a little bit nervous if I'm not, because I don't want to be spewing with my mouth and
You know what?
The key thing is
coming out.
You gave me the capsule and I still got it, you know, because
really?
Because you know, you told me you have to be prepared to be sitting on that toilet, and
Yes.
No,
I
ain't
ain't
to be at home.
one
Not
day
that
clear
time.
that I can just
pass it over, man. She probably
do it.
has a day off.
I don't know what the diary is like.
No,
But I'm just waiting for that
I'd like
opportunity
to.
to have the time just so I can just do that.
Yeah, I'll
innit?
definitely.
Listen,
But I've heard
I'll
people
do
speak
it.
about it before, and there've been certain
they
girls in
spoke-
certain
they-
situations where like, oh no, I heard them speaking, and like, oh no, like you can't go work the next day because you're gonna be on the
Yeah.
toilet for this long,
No.
and all
You
of these
see,
things.
they haven't done the Naira. See, this is why I always stand by Naira, because I've done it, I've seen it, and I know somebody else who has actually went and ordered it and was like, yeah, I did this thing, man, and it literally cleaned me out differently.
So how many hours
So-
did it take to put all that?
Bro,
to go
just
through?
make sure you're home. If you start at 8 o'clock, bro, just by 5, 6, you're gonna be free.
You'll be
Oh
free.
my goodness.
Yeah,
That sounds
yeah.
quite quick.
But
Yeah.
'Cause
PM.
A lot of people. I'll emphasize the PM.
And you know what? If you need anything, then you're gonna be told don't eat anything else. But the thing is, it says this is interesting because this wasn't even a part of the conversation, but now it is. Anyway, he would say, even when I first got it, which I told you about this before. When I first got it, he needed a review for me.
Yeah.
And I took a while before I did it. Then one day I don't know what frustrated me that day that I ended up just saying, you know what, flip it, bring it, bang, did it. Next thing, I remember, I think I spoke to him briefly and I was like, this thing, because I was in doubt, because I was like, it's 3 hours already, nothing has happened to me, man.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't worry, man, it's coming, man, don't worry about it. I cut the phone off. And literally, that was me running towards the toilet, because I was like, yo, this is just a weird, and everything just went, bah, starts gushing out. I was like, oh, damn. So this is exactly what happened. So I started gushing out, and then literally, let's say about an hour or so, didn't even go past, I was in the toilet, and it was a release. You know when when you're in the toilet and it's like,
My question is like, do you have a stomach ache? Does that make sense?
No.
Is there
no,
any like
no,
headaches
no,
afterwards?
No.
Just a clean
Listen, your
wash out.
system, you will even feel your stomach has shrunk.
That's lovely.
So even when you're about to eat or when you're about to do anything else, you start feeling the difference immediately. So you know, but when you're drinking water, you're fine. You will actually feel fine. Even in that process, you can drink water. But I just stayed away from water from the first one. I stayed away from. Did I do water the second time? I probably did do a little bit of water. But even this third time, I was like, there's no way I'm going to drink water. I was just like, I just need a cleanse because I know exactly what I'm getting from it, and it's a pure cleanse.
It's natural.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And you know what? I'll tell you what, because you know a lot of these companies are always advertising things on a different level.
Yes,
The thing about Naira is everything is herbal. And it tells you, number one thing that it always says, he will tell you, he said, if you feel you're not ready or to carry on with it, have a cold shower. Because as soon as you have the cold shower, everything comes off it.
Have you ever had a colonoscopy? Is that how you say it?
Colonic irrigation.
Have you ever had that? With
The one that they put it in the
clean
back.
out your
Yeah, they put the hot water
grease.
in the back and then, no, I would never do that. No, thank you.
You say
I would never-
Explain
I
it.
said colonic colonic irrigation.
Grease.
Digging out your batty,
Have
boy.
you done it?
No.
Would you ever do it, Jules? I mean, complex. Would you ever do it?
Thing up my behind.
Yeah, would you do it?
I said no, hell no, thank you.
Oh.
So
There's some things in this life, yeah, and you know what? There's a cancer check. That's the thing that I think they put it in your backside, don't they?
Yeah, man.
The thing is, now I'm because I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go and do it at some point. But I'm like, yo,
what
that's
about
the
the
most
prostate thing?
uncomfortable.
That's when they got
That's
the
the one.
prostate
Yeah,
thing,
that's
innit?
what
They
it
gotta
is.
Prostate
put
cancer.
that-
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta
Yeah.
check. Put your
Yeah, they
fingers
gotta
up
put their
your
fingers in the
things
backside, and
Oh
it's
my
like, yo, am I
Rubber gloves
prepared to?
Hey.
Bruh.
grease that thing.
Oh,
Yeah, there's some things.
This one in the sound effects.
But you know what? The worst thing would be
Did that last time
somebody,
with the shower. Sound effects.
if you get comfortable. Nah, that's weird, man.
You have to
What's
get
that?
on with it, you know.
That's weird, man. But it's something that has to be done anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It has to be done.
Part
man.
of your regime, like this clearing out business, do you have anything else planned, like fitness or getting to
Oh
the
yeah, no,
gym?
I'm hitting back. I'm going back in the gym, man. It's not a if buts or maybes. I'm just silent now because now I just said, you know what? Let's get this conversations out of the way with people. But as clearly, I can see you myself now. I'm just seeing even my clothes. I'm like, yo, it's annoying that the clothes are not even fitting on. They're not staying on, and this. I'm seeing myself in a different light.
You
Generally,
feel the room in the.
I
in
can
the-
feel
in the
myself
clothes.
differently, honestly, and I'm yet to tell people like, you know what, get with the programs of doing these things, man, because you have no other options but to just make sure you do it. Because I don't know if you've seen the clip I think I posted on Snapchat recently, and there was this girl talking about the men that she wants have to be, they have to be fit and they have to be gym bodies and. But the person I was saying is, I'm like,
Or the big girl. Hey.
there you go.
In Jamaica, they'll say she's fluffy.
Yeah, no.
And it's
I didn't say it. She said it.
yes.
She said
I think I'm
fluffy.
allowed to because
No, I didn't say you're not allowed
I
to.
think, do you know what? It's funny because I actually watched it and I said to myself, it's interesting sometimes how women or people, would expect the person that they're attracted to be a certain way, but they themselves are not representing what they want.
Listen, no, and going with that said, because what's her name? Ladi. How would you pronounce that?
LADI.
Yeah, how would you pronounce it?
As a person,
Lady.
As a person's name. I look at it as
Either
Laddie.
Laddie or
Laddie.
Yeah, but they say
Yeah,
Laddie.
Laddie would
She's in
be
the
the
US.
most
She's in the
thing you
US,
look at.
and she sent me a message. And she goes, you know what's interesting? This girl, like, she's even sent me a voice note. Funny enough, I've not listened to it yet, but I just seen it and I was like, oh, this is a voice note. No, that's why I normally have the earpiece in my ear. The headpiece in my ear, because somebody will send me a voice note. I'm like, all right, cool. Even you send voice notes, and I'm like, yeah,
I'm
okay.
a voice note girl.
Yeah, that's why that stays in my ear. But she sent me a message and she goes, "It's interesting. That's what she wants, but she's definitely got a maga kind of a guy, a skinny guy, is who she would end up with, and it's going to be somebody who's been tearing her up how she wants to be tearing up.
Oh my
torn
goodness.
up. You know what I'm saying? And I was like." Oh, it's an interesting way that she said it that way. I was like, okay, it is what it is, or it is what it said. But you know how it goes. That's the name of the
So I think
game.
we should ask that question then, isn't it? Does appearance matter, or is it more the personality that people are going for? What about
I
you?
think it
What do you
matters.
find?
I think it matters. I'm sorry. You don't see me and see my personality. I'm sorry. It's true.
How do you know that,
Appearance does matter because hygiene also matters. And also how the person presents it themselves. I think that does matter. I think that we'd be lying to ourselves if we say that we are not physically attracted to that person. We have preferences, do we not? Or are we just going to go by...
But wait, are you answering on the basis of from a woman's perspective or from a man's perspective? You see, that's where I was that's what I was about to start off with. Are you going to look at it from a woman's perspective or are you going to look from a man's perspective?
I'm generalizing because
So
I
you're
personally
generalizing
feel,
between both?
Yeah, because I think it's a lie. Like, I think that you don't see somebody's personality. You see them first with with their physical attributes, assets, whatever you find appealing. You see that first. And then if they communicate their body language, you start to read that. But I think to some degree it does matter if you're attracted to that person or not. If you're not attracted to them, they're not gonna,
I think there's a level there's a level towards attraction, isn't it?
But
And it normally is appearance, isn't
just
it?
attracted to the personality and not what
I
they
think
look
that
like.
happens eventually.
That's why you get
happens
some of them. No,
eventually.
listen, that's why you get some of them ugly
Oh my goodness.
fellas. No, listen.
They might be really funny, you don't know
No,
what?
them ugly fellas that sometimes you wonder like, bruh, how is you with this woman? And you when you hang out with one or two of them and you sit down with them for 2-3 minutes, you say, you know what? It's your mouth that gets you to this point. Because when they start talking, there's some people when they start speaking, they already attract you from just the word go.
By the way they talk.
Yeah. There's some
of
people who
course.
start talking, and as soon as they start talking, that's how
But
they
they're
attract.
not physically.
Physically, they're probably somebody who never even bother looking at them twice.
Okay.
You know what I'm
What do
saying?
you think?
Well, in terms of
Do you
personality.
think do you think appearance matters?
If I'm going to be with that person long term, then yeah, I think it does matter. Because aesthetically, you kind of need that visual representation of what you like. So your mind will kind of connect certain things
Yeah.
to the visual representation as well. But also from experience, I think there's been certain women who I've looked at and said, oh, you know what, that's not really my type of thing. But then similar to what Kid was saying, when they start speaking to you,
Exactly.
you're like, okay, maybe. And
Yeah.
then the more you speak to them, it starts building up in your mind, okay, maybe I could do this. Maybe
You
I
make
could
it
actually,
work.
she's not my usual type, but maybe I could just try it. Maybe I should try something different, you know, maybe I might like it. And it starts,
Okay, come on.
the jump starts swaying.
Everyone put a little salt and pepper
And
in your food.
and then, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I see that still. But I
Yeah.
think ordinarily, I like a mixture of both. So something that's aesthetically pleasing, and then also, you know, the conversation carries. But then yeah, there's the opposite to what Kid was saying, when someone's just like looks really good on the outside, but when you speak to them, there's like nothing there. It's like an empty.
Yeah.
The opposite of
100%. Yeah,
people. Some people are
100%.
just weird, man. Some people you get in with them, you're like, you know, why am I in this position? But you know what? I always say, if somebody has the gift of the gab, like a politician, for example,
Yeah.
they could sell ice to an Eskimo, man. That's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? And those are the people who, those people attract everybody. So you'd be sitting down there wondering, how did this guy do it? It's a politician mind. People most politicians, they come and sell you a dream that you'll be thinking, yeah, man, he's very right in what he's saying. But guess what? You end up realizing that this guy is not going to change a damn thing, but he sounds good when he speaks.
Yeah.
And people just buy into it. And there's people who have that gift whereby it's like, oh, left is right, right is left. You know, even you even start doubting yourself. And you used to be somebody who was very, very strong-minded, but you end up doubting yourself because of the fact that this person has more power and control in how he speaks and sees things. And I guess some of these guys see things in a different. What's the best way to put it? I don't think some people see things as humans too. That's my best bet. Because for you to be able to gather a whole bunch of people and have them believe in nothing, and most of these religions that tend to do that, they come in and they have people believing in this certain way of life. And I know we're never about religion, but most of these guys who are in religious, you know what I mean? Well, if you look at the likes of Jim Jones, I don't know if you know about Jim Jones and them. You know the real Jim Jones, not Jim Jones, the preacher, the one.
thing.
No, the one that took the people from the U.S.
thinking of
into
Jim Crow.
Jim Jones.
Crow.
Jim Jones is the one. Jim Jones, everybody knows, is the rapper, right?
Yeah,
But
but he's
Jim-
named after a
Jim
person.
Jones. The Jim Jones is
I
the
know
guy.
that.
What he did, he got a whole bunch of people from the U.S. I'm not sure what state it is.
Or was it a cult thing he did?
He did a cult thing, and he took him to
I
Guyana.
did read this, yeah.
He took him to Guyana, and they ended up now killing themselves, or they ended up killing each other. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But he was in charge of a whole lot of murders. I know we got Google right now, so we might as well even Google some of them. But he caused a lot of people to literally believe in the church that he was building and all of that stuff. And they left the U.S. to build somewhere in Guyana. And the next thing you know, they're all just killing each other. They were just dying. And then they look into it, it's like, hang on a minute. You mean to tell me because of religion, like, you have no idea. None of us knows. Even the most holiest person walking on this earth, who believes that they're the holiest person walking on this earth, you have no idea what exactly happens after we leave this world. We just know that we're not going to be breathing at one point. Our bodies ain't going to be saying nothing to us, and everybody else will say, "I miss you," but after a set period of time, nobody will miss you again. But you know, you're going to be remembered in some ways or in some formulas or whatever the case. The likes of Jim Jones, what are they remembered for? They're just remembered for the nonsense that those guys did.
Yeah. But let me ask you this, yeah? So we're saying that, you know, these people have the gift of gab and so forth.
Yeah.
So what type of qualities do you think? Because in my mind, I'm building a picture of someone that's good at leadership.
That's it. That's
So-
number one, yeah.
What type of qualities do you think make up a good leader in terms of leadership?
I think first thing is that you have to be a people's person. And your charisma has to be speaking for you.
So how do you
that's
just look at it from the perspective of we're trying to teach someone how to kind of build their charisma and how to be a leader. How would you put it in layman terms to someone to kind of let people absorb their charisma? What advice would you give?
I think the way to look at it this way is that if you're trying to impress a woman, I'll say you. I wouldn't start telling you.
How do you know I wouldn't want to be?
How
How do you know I don't want to
2023, man.
What?
Equal rights.
24, bro. That doesn't 23. What? Are you sure you're with us or you're against us, man? Are you sure you're with us? 2023 is 24, man. We're in 24 now.
Yeah. So
You know what I'm
I've
saying?
been in the
Happy
gym
New
today.
Year,
My
man.
energy level is low.
Happy New Year.
My energy level is low.
Is that the excuse?
Yeah.
We're way past the New
My
Year's.
blood sugar
Happy
is
New
alright,
Year's.
it's
That's what I'm
alright, it's
saying.
alright. We just had the
No.
Chinese unit, so it's cool.
Oh, yeah. Is that where you're going? Okay, the Ethiopian one is in April. So
There you go.
just-
Still got time. Still got time.
You still got time. You still got time to roll with it. You know what I'm saying? I always wonder what causes the New Year's in these cultures anyway, man. But yeah, it's one of those things. You know, I'd look at it this way, yeah. Is how do you, when you're trying to impress a woman that you find interesting, the work that you put into it, the words that you use are just not normal words, are they?
Go deeper.
So if you're trying to impress a woman, like say, okay, let's use Leticia, who's the woman amongst all of us, right? So if you and I was to approach her, we'll start having to figure out what can get her attention.
Oh, so like what buzzwords?
Yeah, you
can
start
use.
thinking about words that you use.
Different
You're not-
people
yeah,
connect with different words, like different
Yeah.
languages.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, not even that. The thing is, you're not gonna go to Leticia and be like, "Yo, what going?" That's not gonna work, is it?
So the advice you're given is to figure out what language
You're
is
gonna-
effective on
you're-
the person you're speaking to.
Yes, you're
Okay.
gonna
So
figure
that's
out.
point one.
Yeah, because you're gonna figure out. If you even look at people, you know, the likes of what's his name. I don't really want to be saying his name per se, but if you look at Trump,
I was thinking about him
yeah,
as well.
if you look at him, he has a set people who are interested in what he says.
Yeah.
And if that guy says tomorrow I'm gonna fly, these guys won't even question it. They'll
Yeah.
be like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
You've done it before, or
Yeah.
you semi already kind of did it. You know what he said. Even you know what I mean, because I know the American politics elections is coming up soon, but he's always triggering them. And he says things that literally has people a bit like, yo, what did you just say?
Yeah.
Type of thing.
It's
Do you see what I'm
outlandish.
saying? He's a very, very out there, but just a lot of confusion that comes with him. But leave that to the side. He has a set amount of people who believe in what he says. And how does he have that? Because he's a guy who talks about everything American and all of these things. But his mom is Scottish, so he has a golf club in Scotland.
Yeah, he has a.
Yeah.
His father is German. Is a German heritage or something, isn't it? And you know, in Germany, I don't think they really accept him anyway. But it's like the fact that he can come in and say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna do X, Y, Z," and you won't be able to say to him, "No, you won't," because when he last said he was gonna be president. Who was the president prior to him? It was Obama, wasn't it? And Obama told him that you will never make it in this thing. And there's some people who you always say you will never do it. Those are the people who will look at you and say, "Hey, watch me do it."
So these leaders, would you say they all have a certain thing in common?
Of
then?
course they do.
Even
of
like
course they do.
taking someone like Trump,
Self-belief.
who we could maybe say we could label just for now a villain, and then somebody, I don't know, like Malcolm X, for example, two different ends of the spectrum. Would you say they
Self-belief.
still have
Self-belief.
So that's the one thing they have in common,
Self-belief is number one in every one of them.
So
There's
so
no-
we've got
there's-
self-belief.
yeah,
and we've got
self-belief.
the language you use.
The language that you use and to know the people that just studying the people and knowing
the
exactly.
people that you're speaking to.
Yeah,
who you want to
The
lead.
people. What are you trying? What is it that? Because you know, if you look at it, even in businesses, and you're as a business coach, right? A lot of businesses are very successful. Are people who have monitored and looked and seen that, you know what, people want this, people need this. I'm gonna create a business out of it, and they ended up like, look, water, bottled water, bottled water. The person who decided to start with bottled water, people looked at him like he was crazy because water was already everywhere before. But then they just got up and said, you know, I'm gonna bottle the water and I'm gonna sell it. And look at what bottled water is today.
It's true.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Water's everywhere. Like it's in your tap at home.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. It's
in the
it's a
sea.
basic, and in some parts of the world they don't have water running into the house like it runs where we are, right? But then they will still find a way to get a bucket, go get the water, fetch it, boil it, because you know after you boil water you can drink it now, because it's already cleaned up now.
cleaned, yeah,
so you
yeah.
drink it. So you boiled up the water, you drink it, and you're good to go. You can freeze it, whatever the case. But you have access to it. See, that's the key thing, because unless even in the most remote area in the world, they will know where they're going to get their water. They might walk a couple of miles for that water, but they will know where to get that water, lift it, and then take it back home, and then they'll do what they need to do with it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But somebody decided in the world to say, you know, I'm going to put water in a bottle and I'm going to sell it. And he or she is you've created a whole bunch of other companies because of this bottle of water.
Oh, cool. So
Do you
we've
see what I'm
got
saying?
knowing the kind of demographic, the triggers of the people that you're speaking to, the language you use to them.
Yep.
And then what was the other one? Was it charisma?
Yeah, the charisma has to be there, because
do you
you've got to look. Somebody has to look at you, and you have to have somebody who's going to look at you in some form of jealousy or some form of hatred, because they'll be like, oh, I need to be that guy. You see what I'm saying? They need to look, and your charisma really has to play a part where somebody will be looking and say, you know what, this guy, like, how? You know what I'm saying? Like, some people will look and say, this individual is very ugly, but he has everybody looking out for him. And, you know, a lot of these guys, preachers have that charisma, because preachers will have you buying them a car tomorrow morning, and people do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Preachers have you buying them anything that they need, and you wouldn't even question them. But then remember, the front line, probably half of the front line is people he's already got children with, or he's already doing something with them, but they already know. Just shut up. That's it. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's a general statement. And I think that not all preachers are like that.
I wouldn't say.
Brother, because I'm only saying that by experience.
Because you go to church.
Yeah, but I'm saying that because I think people have, what I like about my faith is that people have free will. So if you're choosing to buy your pastor a car, that's on you. That's just my opinion.
But you guys put money aside every Sunday, right?
Again, people have free will.
No, wait.
I'm coming.
They give that around, right?
Well, let her land.
No. Before she lands, before everything else, do they pass it around?
It doesn't always work out like that.
So they don't pass it around?
I think you need to come to my church.
Do they pass it around?
They're not passing hats and they're not passing hands. It's not. It's like coming to America, brother. Well, you're coming to America.
Finish up. Go. I mean, carry on.
So what I'm saying is, I think, like, with my faith as well, because I'm a Christian, I think it's about, I do it based on my morals and relationships. Okay, so why I say that is, in the church, and I cannot speak for all churches, I just feel that there is a stigma attached to church. At the end of the day, everybody is there for a reason or a purpose, but I also feel that they do get a bad rep. And then there's little churches like mine that are really, really good and really family orientated, and you ain't got the pastor feeling up no one. Just what I'm saying, he's there to support people and raise leaders. You don't know that I don't know. But what I'm saying is...
There we go. So it's a grey area then.
Not really, because you don't know. But at the same time, if that's what he's doing, that's also something that everyone has weaknesses, and everyone, the word is sin, isn't it? So everyone has their weaknesses. Nobody on the pulpit, nobody on the platform, nobody me sitting next to you, we all have weaknesses at the end of the day. It's just how you manage it, and whether, you know, you would like to improve your life or whatever it is. That's how I see it, because my faith is not just me religiously putting money in a man's pocket. My faith is my lifestyle. So I choose to be nice. I choose to, you know, I'm generous, guys. I'm always feeding you lot. I actually bought food. I bought you lot curry mutton.
There's a kitchen.
This man's face. Look at this.
We have a kitchen here.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is,
oh man, we're busy talking about going to go and eat some food. But you know, we'll end up going there.
You always do it for lunch.
No, we're going to end up going there anyway, because I know you want to go for something else. But anyway.
So I just want to say that for myself, my faith is based on my lifestyle. And it's not just because, I feel guilty for not going to church on a Sunday morning, because I don't. I'm human. I'm tired. Yeah, I'm going to rest my head. But I'm still going to... My lifestyle will reflect that I'm, you know, a nice person, I'm a good listener, all of those things. But I do feel there are people that are in the church are very judgmental, because I've been judged in the church. So, but that's on them. That's humans. That's humans. Anyway. That's the point I'm making, because the kind of behavior that happens in church, okay, people will raise it. That same behavior happens in the workplace. People don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If the manager is sleeping with his secretary, people will overlook that. That happens in church. Everyone's like, oh no, this is happening. But I guess it's the position.
It's the kind of the foundations they set in church, or the moral standings they set. That's why it's worse when people hear about those things in church, they're like, oh wow, they did that.
No, no
and
one
they're
should be
preaching
surprised.
this, that, and the other.
There's prostitutes, there's rape, there's what's that? What do you call when you're the same sibling or?
Oh, incest.
There's incest in the Bible. There's rape. There's so much in that. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, man.
I mean,
there's homosexuality. There's loads of
read the
things in
Bible?
there. I have read the Bible, but I haven't read it from Genesis to Revelations. No, I would
but
be
you've
lying.
read. I mean, you've read into it, right?
I've read the Bible. I've read the scriptures. Yeah.
What do you think of the Bible?
You're asking somebody of faith. What do I think?
No, what do you think of the Bible?
Oh, the Bible. Well, I did a very, very minor theology study on it and how it was written and the scriptures and all of that stuff. So, but why do we need to get down this road?
No. You know what it is? Because I always wonder who wrote the Bible. Because nobody can ever tell you who did.
We could talk about that off the mic because I think it's important. Because I think that's something that will be quite a lengthy conversation.
No, I know it's going to be a lengthy conversation. Listen, I'm not saying the question. When I'm saying the question to you, it's one of those conversations where I sit down sometimes, I look at it, I say, listen, I wouldn't even go into it personally. Even religion, that's why we never even gone into it. We've been out for at least a year doing the audios and stuff. We've never ever got into a topic about religion because that's a very grey area.
It's a lot of different
Bible
opinions.
is the original one, isn't it?
Lalibela Ethiopia is where you've got religion now. When you look at most of the religions that come up in the world, Lalibela Ethiopia is a place to go. In fact, that is in my my traveling radar. Is I need to go there and just understand how you guys did they got churches in rocks, man. Like this is a church in a rock, like a rock.
Yeah,
rock.
I've seen
not a building.
The pictures online.
Yeah.
When they've dug the excavations and it goes down into a pit, and in the rock you've got the carvings and things.
Listen, they've got these churches, right? Are you on Google right now?
Do you know what? I'm actually looking at the leadership styles. I think it'll be good to summarize on that, but
but
I mean, it's still relevant because you've got we were talking about leaders in the church, like preachers and pastors.
Because they're right, actually leaderships. Like, look at this brother.
That was my phone.
Slow jabs.
No, I was no. Listen. I caught onto something. You see, there we go.
You can imagine, isn't it?
No,
kid mixtape.
Slow
jams part 1.
Man, this is. No, you know what? Because I was going on Google to actually show you the Lalibela I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's the reason I was going into that, and there was something else I'd left playing there. Clearly, that's why this thing is always in my ear, man. And you know what? Because I sit down listening to things sometimes. I'm like, oh, should I listen to it? No, let me put this on and listen to it. You know, because I'm not driving at the moment. So I spend and you know what? That's the part of not driving that I actually enjoy, the fact that you can pick up your phone and you can look up the news when you flash. Because you know, my phone, all the news is always flashing on my screen. So when it flashes up, I pick up my phone. I'm like, this is what's going on in the world, and I start learning one or two other things. That's why sometimes I'm like, and I look into it, I'm like, yeah, let me stop this, man. But in a car, you would never catch me doing that, because in the car nowadays, you'll even lose your license, really.
It's dangerous now with AI.
So you could dare not try.
They're going to put those cameras in it that can tell that you're on your phone and all of these things there, man.
So I said, I think when I'm in Africa is when I worry about driving.
Let me ask you then, touching on driving, like, do you prefer not driving or driving at the moment?
No, I need to get back on the road, man. What are you talking about?
That's what I'd ask.
Huh?
Because I'm similar, like, when I don't drive, I find it very relaxing. Like, when I just jump on the tube to go somewhere.
It is.
Somebody else is driving.
Yeah, I don't have to think
you ain't
about
gotta worry about what's
things.
going. You ain't gotta worry about turning left because there's a cyclist who's gonna come up from this way. You ain't gonna look right if this person's coming from that way. You ain't gotta worry about overtake. And you know, the one thing we're always fans of is who we're gonna cuss off as soon as they come up against us. The road rage, the road rage hits us in a different direction.
People need to chill. It's like you can't even, like, say you're at a traffic light, and you take a millisecond from when it goes amber, like you're getting beep beep beep. You're like, well, let me just move my foot. Like,
and you stand to lose from it. That's why I remember. Like, I think last time we caught up properly. I said I don't think I'll be driving in the UK for a while, because I was driving when I was in Africa. I was chilling, man. There was no the levels of stress of driving are not the same. When you're in the UK, because I'm in the UK, you're thinking, if I cross that red light, boom, I'm done for, because it might take a picture of it and that's 3 points on your license.
Consequences. Like if you make an error, like it can affect you severely in the UK.
It's one of those things.
So taking a wrong turn, like we're saying, that speeding, if you just go a fraction over it, you might be on like I think
Everything.
it's 12 points and you lose it, innit?
Yeah, 12 points you lose it. But
So
well,
you could
then
be on,
again,
like, your last
it
few
depends.
points
It depends
and-
on the judge you meet.
Yeah,
meet,
you
'cause I
have
know
to, you can
somebody who had
appeal
12
it
points.
and them things. Because
I know somebody who had
I know
12 points,
someone
but they
that
didn't
did
get
that.
banned from driving. However, his insurance was mega.
Yeah, of
I
course.
was like, damn, bro.
yeah, you
But
might
you
as well
know,
not drive.
Nah,
wait
there's some
until
things you just look at
those points
sometimes
go.
and thinking, is there really a point to it? Yes, no, maybe so. Do you want to find out? Nah, forget it. Nah, just be free, man. You know what I'm
Have
saying?
you
That's
guys
what,
heard
you know
of
what I
the
mean?
smart motorways?
The one
This is what we
that's
was
that's
talking
the
about in
ones
the
on
car.
the ones on the thingy. What do you call it?
Remember,
Smart
because there's
motorways.
no hard shoulder.
Yeah,
So
the ones that they
instead-
clear. The M4 is it M4?
Yeah, so it's
M4 has
the-
got one.
M1 between junctions 39 and 42, M25 between junctions 5 and 7, M6 between junctions 11A and 13. That's where there's been a lot of deaths, unfortunately,
Oh, no,
for the
it's bad.
smart motorways because they've just made it all.
So, do we know
Motorway.
the reason why the government have done that? What are they saying? Why
That's a good
justified?
question.
'Cause that might.
Give us an idea, because I'm thinking in my mind,
Like, even though you've taken it away, you know that cars are still going to
Cars
break
are going to
down.
break down.
So, like, where's the logic behind that? There must be a counteractive logic for them to, in the first place, say we're taking it away.
I'd be keen
I
to know
think
that.
the great area in that when it comes to those things is whereby I think somebody has actually studied that road, and they've come up and realized that, you know, between here and here, nothing happens. But you see, the problem with life is, or just generally human beings, is the moment you create that law,
Yeah,
or you
something.
decide, that's when
Counteract.
everything will happen in that particular location.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's
Just
just
a way
as
of
human
life,
nature, yeah. Because I've seen something before. I know we're about to wrap up, but let me tell you this. I've seen this walk. Should we call it a walkway or passenger? What do you call them? The pavement. When the pavement was being built. And I remember looking at it, and I remember somebody saying to me, like, you know what, this the stupidest thing is, these guys who are building this, the first thing they need to do is monitor the human behavior. And I was like, what do you mean? Because when you go on the pavement, there's some grass. And he goes to me, before you build on to where that grass area is, what you need to do is that you need to see how these people walk around it. Because what tends to happen is, when you put the grass up, what people start doing is they start walking on the grass, and it creates a
building
little path.
Yes, yes.
So he said to me, the only way to get rid of that is watch how people walk, and then after you've monitored and seen how they walk around it, put it there.
Yeah, I think it's similar with bus stops and where they put them, because sometimes they put them in awkward places. Same with zebra crossings, put them in dangerous places like corners of. Say you're gonna turn right, and instantly there's a zebra crossing there. So it's like you could
there's
just hit any. Do you know what I mean? It's a difficult corner.
I think a lot of them as well.
Yeah, they should be studying the roads first, like the pattern. And
No,
look
they
at
do
where
study the
people
roads. They
are
study the
walking.
roads.
So why are they in
But
these
it's not.
awkward
It's
spaces?
human
Drivers,
behavior.
they're not even.
No, it's human behavior. Human behavior is the problem. Building the road is not an issue, but the human behavior is what's the biggest problem. Because when you have a zebra crossing, for some weird
but
reason,
for me, like, they're just in silly places.
yeah, no, some of them are in silly places. I'm not saying they're not, but what I'm saying is the human behavior is the one that will tell you. Because if you're getting a license in the UK, when before you do your tests and before you get into the car itself to start driving it, you have to do a practical test, right? But you have to do a theory test.
Yeah,
and
before
your
that.
theory test is always tell you that, listen, the pedestrians always got the right of way, right?
Yeah, that's the
that's the rule- that's
byway
It's true.
code.
It's
That's
the law.
numero uno.
Yeah,
That's law number one that tells you every
pedestrians
pedestrian.
and bikes.
There you go. So now you're standing there, and you know, as a pedestrian, if he gets on the road, you have to be prepared to stop. So if you look at the miles right now on the roads, they've been reduced to 20 miles in most places,
Yes.
right? Which is annoying for you as a driver, because you're thinking, I can just clear this road in with 30 miles that was there prior to. But then these guys are sitting down and they're saying that, listen, people have lost their children because people or somebody going a certain amount of miles.
So I
you know
think
what
it is what it is in any emergency stop. Like if you're going 20 and you stop in an emergency, even if if you fell, the impact is not going to be.
The impact is not going to
as
be a
much.
serious
That's what they're
one.
thinking about.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
But
I remember there was a road near mine. I was zooming down the side of the park. It was late, and then the policeman pulled me over, and he goes, like if anyone steps out, they don't stand a chance, or if a fox steps out, it don't stand a chance. Like nothing stands a chance at you going at that speed. And that's when it kind of clicked to me. you know, because like you say, I'm just thinking, right, like it's like this certain time at night or early morning, there's no one around, so there's no one to step
There is
in.
that, yeah, there's that side of
But
things, man. But,
like
you know.
obviously they got to standardize it. So
It is
by
what
that
it
It's a
rule,
bit unfair though, because obviously when you go country, you know, when you go down the country roads, I'm scared.
No, it doesn't apply for that side.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But still,
And
you've
their
got
roads
things
are
crossing.
smaller.
Yeah, well, like animals and stuff.
Yeah, so it's like when you go down them country roads, they're frightening. I always go slow, but because people that are familiar with
Yeah,
the
full,
country
full,
roads,
yeah.
And it's the same. Like when I'm driving in a certain area, I can tell the people that are new to the area. I say, he don't live here.
Yeah.
He don't live here.
that's me.
That one don't know where to go in.
Just push and pull.
I'm like, bro,
Quite
you know you
interesting.
can do this. You can just do a quick maneuver. Overtake.
Like you did earlier with the traffic light.
You see that? I've done it a few
I
today,
wouldn't
I'm
be
not gonna
answering
lie.
questions to that. 'Cause now you know you're gonna be held
Yeah,
guilty.
see that.
And you know what? Let's put it on that. Let's go into our next episode for other conversations, man.
Okay.
I guess I don't know how you guys feeling. You guys okay?
Well, I just wanted to say it was £900 million of taxpayers' money that built that smart motorway.
When you start going into none of us will ever see. We ain't gonna see that money that was spent there. So you know,
Not gonna
we
see
just
that-
have to
that
avoid that road.
investment.
Just avoid that road because you don't know who was chopping. How much was that person chopping on that moment in time? The builders, you know, those are the people who are the tricksters are the people who are building because those guys are doing deals that you will be sitting there thinking, oh, you're complaining. That guy's sitting there saying, yeah, I want you to keep on complaining because it's more money from my pocket. You know what I'm saying? And we all know when it comes to what. January, February, March, that's when all the taxes are being put in and everything else. And guess what? Many of these guys are they're making sure all the money is above what they were requesting from before, so that the next budget year it's double at least, even if it's £1,000 more than what was the year before. Perfect. I still have my job and I still have my things in check.
Of course.
Anyway, it is what it is, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But yes, people, it's lovely to see you all.
again, back
Always
again.
You know what I'm
Pleasure.
saying? You know what I'm
Always
saying?
a pleasure.
Well,
No, we do.
yeah,
Tables Chronicles.
Tables Chronicles,
Where we're
people.
going,
Yes,
moving
please
forwards, pushing
get into
the
it on
envelope.
YouTube. Yeah, people
YouTube.
follow us on YouTube, subscribe to us. We have a lot more things coming up and coming in, and you'll be seeing the lovely faces. I don't know about mine being lovely, but you know,
Real lovely.
but still looking fresh.
Bunch of lovelies.
You know what I'm saying? Have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and a good night, folks. Peace. And shout out to Republic Union for the hats that we're wearing. Peace.